We're going to Germany, first of all, and police in Munich say that at least 30 people were injured after that asylum seeker drove into a crowd of people yesterday morning.
Well, the suspect, who has since been arrested, has been identified as 24-year-old Fahad Nouri and is reported to have previously had his asylum application rejected, but his deportation suspended. Let's get full details of all of this. We go to Katherine Forster, who's there at the scene, our political correspondent. And there is a big political gathering in Munich today as well. Katherine, tell us more.
Yes, there is. Good morning and welcome to a very snowy Munich, where the Munich Security Conference opens this afternoon. World leaders gathering. J.D. Vance, the US Vice President, arriving yesterday with his wife and 3 children. Zelensky of Ukraine also here. A big moment for European security, particularly in light of everything that's been said by Donald Trump over the last couple of days. But we are here at this junction because this is where yesterday morning at 10:30 a white Mini came from just up there over my shoulder and rammed into a trade union rally, hitting 30 people. Now the cordon's all been cleared away, but you can see now a lot of press here. There is a heavy police presence. Also, if we can pan round a bit more, there's one of several pop-up little memorials, flowers, candles, roses being covered by snow. A lot of people coming, just taking a quiet moment, thinking about what happened here yesterday. 30 people injured. We know that a 2-year-old child is critically ill in hospital. There will be a press conference at 11 o'clock. We will bring you updates later. But we know that this asylum seeker that drove the car is going to appear in court today. We know that this case has been handed to counter-terrorism officials because some extremist content has been found. He came to Germany in 2016 from Afghanistan in that huge wave of migrants coming into Europe. Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor, said at the time, "We can do this." He did not get asylum, and yet he was allowed to stay. And people here are shocked. They are horrified, of course. But they are also, sadly, becoming used to this sort of thing. It was only in December there was the Christmas market attack. 6 people killed, 100 injured. Last month, a 2-year-old child and an adult stabbed to death, also in Bavaria. The authorities saying something has to change in Germany.
Thank you, Katherine. We now go to security expert Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Crawford on all of this one. Germany, Catherine's reporting from Stuart, but the big thing is people are thinking, when's it going to happen in Britain?
Good morning. Indeed, yes, they are. And I think when you consider the hundreds of millions, if not billions, of cars which are deployed with people driving them worldwide, and every one of them is a potential weapon in the style that we've just seen tragically happen in Munich, then you have to assume that it can happen anywhere. And it wasn't so long ago that I wrote a piece for, I think, one of the Scottish papers about my local area in Edinburgh, Princes Street, packed with shoppers. And it just struck me that this, I think that was after the Nice attack, actually, if you remember that one in the south of France with the truck attack.
Yep.
It struck me that Edinburgh's Princes Street was wide open. And it will be a huge task to put in all the necessary barriers in all of the public streets in the UK. So we are, in many ways, wide open to a similar copycat attack.
So what you're saying, Stuart, is that these are going to be so hard, so difficult to defend ourselves against attacks like this?
Yes, indeed, because I think if you're looking at something like a suicide bomb attack or a vehicle bomb attack or a small arms attack, then the perpetrators or would-be perpetrators have got to get through various security barriers before they can carry out that attack. But with a car, everybody's got a car, and nobody knows who might do this next. The biggest defense against this sort of stuff is intelligence. And clearly, in the case of the Munich attack, the intelligence wasn't strong enough or good enough.
And obviously we're getting more details as they emerge. We'll get some more later on today when he appears in court in Munich. But all we know so far is his 24-year-old Farhad Nouri. But he was reported to have previously had his asylum application rejected. But for some reason his deportation was suspended. Yeah, it never happened. What should we read into that?
Well, I think what we need to read into it is in Germany and in Sweden and other parts of Scandinavia, the governments have been so welcoming to legitimate and probably illegitimate migrants and asylum seekers that they've welcomed into their own house, if you like, people who will do them harm. And so more stringent controls need to be applied. How that will be done, I'm not quite sure, but clearly the policy to date has been far too open to allow this sort of thing to happen again and again and again.
Stuart Crawford, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for your analysis of that situation. In the studio, Charlie Rowley, political analyst on this. And Stuart's talking about, people who apply for asylum coming here and, and then carrying out an act like this. I mean, I think that once you've been accused of something like this, once if that's proven true, that he drove into all of those people, they should throw the book at him. They should double his sentence for that situation. Why have we got to put up with this sort of nonsense?
Well, absolutely right. And the question will be, should he be locked up in a German prison or should he be deported back to Afghanistan? So there'd be and if an attack similar to what we've seen in Munich were to happen in the UK...
Afghanistan will not take him. They'll not take him anyway, probably.
Well, I think the German authorities have said that they've tried to have even though they don't sort of talk to Afghanistan particularly closely, but they've tried to get lots of people that have entered into Germany illegally back to Afghanistan. But we in the UK have had an open sort of process with people coming from Afghanistan, just as we did for Syria, just as we had for Ukraine. So there's obviously, because of the wars that we've taken part in Afghanistan, there's an obligation, I suppose, from our point of view, to help those that are fleeing those conflicts. However, it is the people that slip through the net, or the people that blatantly apply for asylum when they're not fleeing refuge. If they're coming in on the small boats, and they tend to be not women and children fleeing conflict, they're men of a particular age, 30s, 20s, even younger, maybe in their late teens, who don't necessarily need to flee conflict, but do enter the country and claim asylum. And shouldn't be here. How do you deport those people? Should this man have been deported? He probably should have been. If he's committed a crime in Germany whilst even having an approved status, an approved refugee settled status, he should be deported.